Good morning, everyone. What a great day in Mississippi. Now, I know you understand I am the last thing, or then maybe the next to the last thing, Blake, between you and the chicken and catfish. So I won't keep you long. But I have some exciting things to tell you. Great things are going on in Mississippi. When I became governor, I knew my first challenge was economic development. It's also the thing that I enjoy doing the most. You remember in my State of the State address, I said that my first job is to make sure that everyone that wants a job has one. And I've amended that a little bit. I want them to have a job even if they don't want one. We're going to put people to work. We've helped create in the private sector nearly 40,000 jobs in the last 4 years. Almost $3 billion worth of investment. And I love every ribbon cut and every groundbreaking. It's so exciting for me. And I enjoy for the 5th year in a row receiving that Silver Shovel Award. You see, only 16 states receive that from Area Development Magazine. I've got them hanging in the office. I want to be so bodacious. I want everybody to come in and say, where do you get these silver shovels? Let me tell you about them. And go back and tell the rest of the nation we mean business here in Mississippi. We've opened a lot of businesses this year, created a lot of jobs. When I came into office, unemployment was about 9.5%. Today it's 6.1% in Mississippi. Now that's not where we want to end up. That's not where we want to be. We're still behind the national average, but we're trending in the right direction. You see, each month it continues to go down. I want to tell you about a couple of companies that particularly are near and dear to my heart. Some things you probably won't know. Y'all may have noticed last week or week before we opened Yokohama Tire Company in Clay County in West Point, Mississippi. 2 years ago, we began to clear land in West Point, Mississippi. We opened up Yokohama Boulevard. It was about 12 degrees that day, I think. That's the coldest day in Mississippi I've seen. Of course, they said it'd be a cold day before we'd ever get a plant like Yokohama. They looked at all 48 states, 3,000 locations, and they came to West Point, Mississippi, the first ever greenfield site for Yokohama Tire. 500 new jobs there on their way to 2,000. Ashley Furniture. Ecru, Mississippi, we expanded it a few weeks ago. They're going to have 4,000 employees. It will be the largest, listen to this now, the largest upholstery furniture manufacturer in the world. In Ecru, Mississippi, an American-owned, family-owned company, Ashley Furniture. Just yesterday, Mississippi Silicon. Mississippi Silicon began with 200 jobs there just at northeast Mississippi, 200 jobs. It is the first silicon metal manufacturer in the Western Hemisphere in 40 years. It is the only silicon metal manufacturer in the entire Western Hemisphere. Cook Foods expansion in Scott County the other day, 3,400 jobs. 3,400 jobs. Do you understand? If we had a company that would bring 3,400 jobs here, I'd be flying around the world while we get the incentive package out. I'd call a special session. We'd do whatever it takes. But this wonderful company, year after year, has continued to grow there in their chicken and processing plant. Winston County Plywood, close to my heart. You see, in April of 2014, it was totally destroyed by one of 25 tornadoes that touched ground that day. I stood there on that torn up platform, seeing I-beams twisted, turned, and destroyed. I got the CEO on the phone of Winston Plywood and Veneer, and he said, "Don't you worry, Governor, we're coming back." And indeed they are. They're up, and they will be, I believe, the largest plywood and veneer manufacturer in North America. See, we're not just doing everyday common things anymore. We're doing remarkable things in Mississippi. Why? The workforce. Men and women in the state of Mississippi are the workforce that built America. They show up for work on time. They give you a good day's work. If you have to work overtime, all they want to do is make a call home so they can let the family know they may be a little late. Best thing is I tell employers that young man or woman is going to be in church on Sunday morning. They're going to be coaching the Little League baseball team or helping with the Girl Scouts. That's the workforce that the world is looking for, and we have it right here in Mississippi. Tax structure is the best there is. I've cut taxes on business 49 times since I've been governor. 49 times, and we brought in more tax revenue last year than any time in Mississippi's history. How on earth does that happen, my good? Well, it's just baffled the folks that hate those tax cuts. But I learned from a man named Ronald Reagan that said, you know, what you tax, you get less of, and what you cut taxes on, you get more of. So I cut taxes on business, we got more of it. And if I get elected governor, I'm going to make that an even 50 just as soon as I get there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are doing remarkable things here. You know, just recently we announced a settlement with BP. It's been several years since that great disaster, but we believed we must stand firm. $3.2 billion that will go into restoration of our Mississippi Gulf Coast. $3.2 billion, and that includes economic restoration. Healthcare is an economic driver. I'm so excited to see the healthcare corridor in Jackson. You may have seen that announced just recently. The new medical school, as we were flying in from another ribbon cutting the other day, I had the opportunity to look down and see that new medical school coming up. The first one built since 1954. Now, I was born in 1955, so you can imagine it's time that we have a new medical school in Mississippi. And it's part of that dramatic healthcare corridor there that will reach from Woodrow Wilson all the way to the Medical Mall into Rankin County and beyond. Workforce and Innovation and Opportunity Act. You see, the federal government said, if you're going to have a plan going forward with the workforce of the future and you need our federal funding, or you're going to be able to spend state funding as we have at the Department of Employment Security, $50 million in reserve because there's been a 24% less demand on unemployment in Mississippi, but you got to have a plan of action. We're going to be the first state. Our plan is ready to go. We called the Department of Labor the other day and they said, we didn't know you were going to be able to do it so quickly. We're not prepared to take it yet. Imagine that. The federal government, the Department of Labor is not set up to take our action, our plan of action, workforce innovation opportunity. They asked me what I thought we ought to do. I said, bundle it up and send it to Thad Cochran's office and tell him to forward it to the Department of Labor. I bet they'll figure out what to do with it. I bet when the Senate Appropriation Chairman sends it over there, somebody's going to pay attention. Because we're ready to move. I can't wait on Washington, D.C. to build more jobs, create more industry. Make sure that the workforce that we have here in Mississippi is well trained. I want to thank MEC for their Master Tech program. How excited it is to see that we're able to go into high schools and begin to teach young children that need a skill. You know, in my day, my dad was a diesel mechanic, so you usually learned a skill by determining what your dad did. Today, we have advanced manufacturing workforce training programs in Mississippi that are a challenge to anyone in the world. How in the world do you think I know that? Because Wallet Hub said the community colleges in the state of Mississippi were the best in the nation. #1 in the nation, ladies and gentlemen. So this whole idea that we're all 50 and everything, don't you dare believe it. Those half-empty glasses out there are just all over. But I'm optimistic. See, we also started in 2013 an opportunity to have transformational change, disruptive innovation in our educational system. We thought of something very creative. We said, you know, we just believe that before you leave the 3rd grade, now I know this is cutting edge stuff, but hold on. We said before you leave the 3rd grade and go on to the 4th, we think you ought to be able to read on a 3rd grade level. Oh, there was screaming and gnashing of teeth. Oh, he's going to hold all these children back. He doesn't understand it's going to hurt their self-esteem. Why? He hates children. I love children. I want them to succeed. Every child in Mississippi deserves that opportunity. So we put in the third grade gate and we said you can't leave the third grade, but we're going to have an intense program for you. We're going to spend $39.5 million on reading coaches. We're going to put them in the worst districts. We're going to have early childhood education, so we have the collaborative program and building blocks, so we have the public-private combination of both of those, getting children ready for the first grade. Our kindergarten scores are better than they ever have been. And then, of course, the dyslexic program. The number one reason children drop out of school is being dyslexic. And so we began to test those children in the third grade so we can get them into a school, get them with a master dyslexic teacher so that they can help them. All of that together. You say, did that do any good? A $100 million teacher pay raise. I want to thank the Lieutenant Governor and the Speaker for leading that charge. More funding on public education than any time in Mississippi's history. More money than any time in Mississippi history is put into K through 12. We're number 7 for nationally board certified teachers, number 7 in the nation, not number 50. And I think we'll go up. So, when you get disruptive innovation, what happens? Well, when the third graders took their test last August, 92% of them passed their reading test. 92%. Well, the old half-empty glass folks came out and said, well, that's not the real test. You know, they took the real test. Well, it is the reading test adopted by the Department of Education at a minimal level. 92% of our children can read. Well, it doesn't matter. Phil's being too optimistic. So, the national report card comes out. Y'all may have seen that in the paper, heard a little bit about it. We have a national report card, and on that national report card it says the only state in the nation to demonstrate significant increases in both math and reading, the state of Mississippi. Only one. That's us. Let's see what we did here. We had a 6-point increase in 4th grade reading achievement. 6-point increase. Now remember, the rest of the nation is going down. We're going up. We had a 3-point increase of 4th grade math achievement. Ladies and gentlemen, how many times have we got this report card? It's got an A+ on it. I put that on there because I think when you're the best in the nation, as governor of the state of Mississippi, I hereby determine that we got an A+. How many times have we seen this report card and hung our head? Because we were last. We couldn't read. We couldn't do math. Poor old Mississippi. The headlines would say we're last again. The national report card says Mississippi's just failing. Not anymore. Not anymore, and we should say never again. You see, these third graders were the first to take an opportunity of all those reading coaches, of all that intensity. You know who I give credit? The teachers. These teachers in these classrooms determined we're not going to fail anymore. The governor's not going to let us hold these children. He's not going to make us hold these children back. They're not going to be socially promoted anymore. We've got to get this done. And I think they told the parents, and the parents said, son, you know, you're not going to go to the 4th grade if you can't read. No, by the way, we think that's fundamentally important. And we began to succeed. Now, what do other people say? And I know my clock's run out, but you need to hear this, and I think you want to hear this. This is better than eating catfish or chicken, Joe. Mississippi has implemented focused education policies in the past years aimed to help students, imagine that, achieve higher reading and math. These policies have provided students the support services and monitoring necessary to see significant increases in the 4th grade reading score statewide. That's Jeremy Anderson, the president of Education Commission for the States. The Education Commission for the states that monitor the state's outcome say we've done remarkable things. It even gets better. Governor Bryant, Lieutenant Tate Reeves, Speaker Philip Gunn, the legislature, the Department of Education have revolutionized education policy in the Magnolia State. Revolutionized. I didn't write this, I wish I had. They prioritize the academic achievement of children. The results speak for themselves. Patricia Levitt, She just happens to be the CEO of the Foundation of Excellence in Education, Dr. Patricia Levitt. Other people have never, in my memory, and I've been here all my life, never have other people in foundations such as this, with this credibility, made such comments, revolutionized the education system in Mississippi, disruptive innovation in Mississippi. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask for your vote because I need to do that. Not taking anything for granted. Deborah and I, is the First Lady make it here? Where are you, baby? There she is. Y'all seen her in the commercials? Love that woman because she keeps me moving, keeps me motivated. You see, this is both of us together. We're all in on this. And if you'll help us get reelected, we're going to do remarkable things. Disruptive innovation is only the beginning. As my favorite president, Ronald Reagan, used to say, you ain't seen nothing yet. God bless you and enjoy your lunch.